It's Battle of the States. It's Queensland and Victoria. What a huge night of football we've got coming your way. Hello, Josh McLean and James Coughlin bringing you all the action. This Battle of the States contest. Good evening, James. What a good game we've got coming up.
We certainly do. We've already had some drama in the women's match here at Imperial Corps Stadium, and the men's match should be equally as dramatic, especially if last year down at the home of the Matildas is anything to go by. That one went to penalties. I think we've got a couple of very evenly matched sides here.
We certainly do, and a couple of names to keep an eye out for. Let's take a look at the visitors to start off with, and I see a former Socceroo on the list.
Yeah, just a handy call on for Victoria, having Ivan Franjic in the final match of his decorated career, the three-time A-League champion, and one of the nice guys going around in Australian football, and a nice little honour for him to captain the Victorian side in a state where he had so much success at A-League level.
As for the Queenslanders, well, there is so much pace and so much skill. We can't get past Austin Ludwig. He is the captain again, and this is not his first clash in a Maroons jersey.
No, and a deserving honour for Ludwig as well. He is the leader of this Queensland side. He's been the leader of Gold Coast Knights in defence since joining them in 2021, and he's the guy who is going to be directing traffic pretty much all match, whether Queensland are in possession or out of possession. I'm a big fan of his, and I can't wait to see what he has in store for us tonight.
Would be fascinating indeed. Plenty of goal scorers for both sides. Jack Skinner, of course, we know from Lions FC. He's had a pretty good couple of weeks. Wouldn't it be nice to cap off after winning the NPL with a goal or two tonight?
It certainly would, and Skinner is one of a number of key goal scorers. He's a dynamic presence, operating on the left or right flank, but Skinner, he had a bit of a goal drought towards the end of the NPL season as Lions went on to win the title, but he's always dangerous, and he's always going to be a pain for whichever fullback is marking him, regardless of if it's a Socceroo or not.
Indeed. And this Victorian side has a bit of a Queenslandy feel, doesn't it?
Just a little bit. There are some here in the Sunshine State that call NPL Victoria the South Queensland competition as well. I had to get that one in. I'm allowed to be a little biased in this match as well. We've got 41 Queenslanders running around in the NPL Victorian competition. Only 6 in the extended training squad that was named by Victoria, although we are missing a few because South Melbourne have a pretty good excuse for not sending any players tonight, or the coach.
Indeed, a very good excuse. And I must say, it's very rare that we see so many Queenslanders going down to Victoria. Usually they come up here for the warm weather.
You would think so, but with the Victorian clubs announcing themselves as the pinnacle of Australian local club football, there are plenty of opportunities on offer for the players, although still got a pretty good side wearing maroon tonight as well, and a few very strong clubs running around here from February to September.
Right, last thoughts before we get kick-off. I know this is a post-season friendly, but very rarely are these games friendly.
Yeah, well, it's a friendly in name at least, and I think we might see a few tricks coming out from some of these star players. Some dynamic options on both sides. I can't wait to see what Sian Cuba has to do for Victoria. Meanwhile, for Queensland, it's also Andy Pengelly, that man on the ball.
He will get things underway in just a moment. There it is. We're underway. Battle of the States. Queensland had to push forward early on, and they've won. An early throw here. Looks as though Reece Gray is heading over there. Peninsula Power. Be another key player tonight for Queensland. In fact, I say that, he leaves the ball behind.
Commentators curse already, 20 seconds in. But Gray, he had the assist for Luke Francis last week.
There was a throw, and a good-looking throw into the box, but Victoria clears immediately. Now Victoria can just settle with a couple of early touches for their defensive players, and in fact it'll be played all the way back to the goalkeeper. This is Ludwig's first touch, the captain. Has to work his way through the middle. In fact, he was pulled down. Referee saw it, and it will be a free kick.
And for Ludwig, he was part of a Knights side that won the premiership here in Queensland, but it was all they won, and for a side that sets such high expectations under former Socceroo Scott McDonald, like that might be another way for some of these Knights players involved tonight to get another trophy to end their season after their semi-final exit.
It was a little surprising after wrapping up the minor premiership. Ludwig has got some early touches. Naoki Maeda, Wynnum Wolves. Man, he is committed for next season at Wynnum Wolves, so that will please the club. Played 21 NPL games this season.
And good business by Wolves, locking down a couple of their key players who are involved in tonight's match before some scouts from down south can possibly cast their eyes over them.
Indeed. There is Franjic with the throw, and it was a good throw, releasing Albano. Ball played away at the last moment by Queensland. They'll have to be on guard here. Ludwig looked to have a high foot in there. The referee agrees. So Victoria, they're a reasonable distance out, but a dangerous moment here for Queensland's defence.
Yeah, not too many complaints about the awarding of that free kick for the high boot on Bramwell, as Victoria now have a chance to strike early from the set piece, and it'll be Franjic to deliver. He's got that wicked right foot. Can bend the ball into the box, as Tim Cahill found out against Chile in 2014. Of course, he leaves it.
He will leave it in the end. So it was played away by Eliopoulos. Gets it back. Lovely little back heel. And Victoria now looking for an opportunity, but they can't quite get past Queensland's staunch defence as they look to break the other way. Pengelly laying off an ice ball for Reece Gray. Out on that far side wing. And that probably wasn't as well controlled by Martin as he would have hoped.
Very quick to raise his hand in apology, Tyson Martin is one of those players who might have the 5-star skill rating at his disposal.
Albano was dragged to ground there. Referee saw it. They'll take it quickly through Danny Kim from Dandenong City. Kim, he's actually the son of a South Korean international defender, Kim Pan-Quinn, and a former Brisbane Roar and FFA Centre of Excellence attendee. So keep an eye out for Danny Kim tonight. A very good resume, as has this man, Franjic. He's given it away on this occasion, though, unlike him. Ramazani was fighting for it, so too Maeda. Franjic gets another opportunity and plays a delightful little ball over the top, looking for Peters. He was beaten to it by McGowan. Now Ludwig, he has to be careful here. Ramazani, he was able to use him and clear the danger momentarily. Excellent control from Russell. Ludwig, as we mentioned pre-game, already marshalling that defence expertly.
As you would expect from the captain, and the way Queensland is setting up, it is a little bit of a different formation than what we saw last week against the Brisbane Roar in that friendly. Oh, beautiful ball over the top.
Oh, goalkeeper in a bit of strife. In the end, he had to retreat pretty quickly. Did okay.
Long ball over the top, trying to find the live wire Skinner.
Yeah, we mentioned Jack Skinner pre-game as well. He's always a danger when lurking near goal. Challenge needed.
And McGowan, he's not the quickest anymore. I don't think he'll mind me saying that. The very experienced defender, but he's still holding strong in the heart of the Queensland. Almost looks like a back three that they've gone with tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right. Franjic has had some early touches and some good ones. Goalkeeper a little more settled on this occasion. Ludwig, good control. Under a bit of pressure, that was Jordan Thurtell. It was played back to him a little awkwardly in the end, but he did well.
Both keepers, some nervous moments early on.
For sure. Another potentially nervous one, but he was collected. Wasn't super happy with the contact. It's Liam Driscoll, I think, in the number 1 tonight.
It is, and I think he has a right to be a little bit upset with that. Pengelly quite late with the slide in as well. Not overly forceful on the contact, but I think the best thing you can say about Pengelly, he did try to pull out, but it was lazy at best from the Queensland marksman.
All right, so Driscoll. Oh, they're just playing with fire at the moment. They've given it away. Ramazani. Good looking ball. This is Skinner working well with Maeda. Ramazani will get it back and whip in a left foot cross, but there's no one there. Victoria able to clear. Now they can potentially break, although a good strong challenge. Referee didn't like it. It looked as though he got most of the ball.
We'll defer to the decision maker with the whistle on that instance.
Well, he's the only man that really matters at the end of the day. That's
the reason why we're here with the microphones, and he's actually got the whistle.
Indeed. Courtney Perkins battling for it. You may have heard that name before for a Queensland football fan. Of course, Jordan Courtney Perkins used to play for the Roar.
Jackson Courtney Perkins, 29 appearances, 12 goals in the NPL for Moreton Bay United, 2019-2020.
So another Queenslander. He'll be feeling right at home tonight. Warm conditions.
Queensland Brains Trust, Ben Ryan in the foreground, the long-time confidant of coach Aaron Philp and one of the brains behind the Penn Power operation. His official title now is Director of Football.
That's a nice title. Albano, Melbourne Knights man. Well played there by Queensland. They've managed to get the ball back. Russell, good little flick on, but in the end, just couldn't quite make it work. Franjic again back to save the day. Now an opportunity for Martin. Oh, and a good-looking ball. This is Russell. In the end, it was a very good late challenge. Just seemed to put him off.
And Russell is adamant that Queensland should have a corner there as that shot was sent very, very high. Let's see what the replay has for us. And perhaps might have been a touch on the way through. This angle might... Wants a bit more, or perhaps just a little bit of a bobble on the ball.
Hard to tell. But in the end, I think the challenge was just enough to put him off. And he put it well over the crossbar. Martin, again, he's had a couple of key interceptions through the midfield already. Excellent play here from Gray, who continues to go. Victoria have done well here. Just to win it back, and they can settle things down a little. Queensland with a couple of dangerous moments here in the opening 10 minutes. Franjic. Nice little ball over the top. He's got lovely skills, as you'd expect from the former Socceroo. Albano now finding Edwards. Plenty of space, Edwards, and looks to push a ball through. Keeper has to do some work and does. 2-on-1 here, and again electing to use the keeper. So end-to-end stuff at the moment.
It certainly is, and smart work by Franjic, just putting his body in the way of Russell, making sure that the youngster couldn't find his way onto that pass over the top. Queensland certainly looking to bank on their speed up front.
So Ludwig, Maeda. Look to switch out to the far side wing. There's a little bit more space out there. Good ball through to Martin, who is definitely looking dangerous early on. He tried to lay a ball in there for Skinner, just couldn't quite find him. In fact, it was Joel Russell he was trying to find.
And that's something that we saw in the women's game, and it hasn't really translated as well as you might hope for Queensland in the first 10 or so minutes, but these players perhaps a bit more used to playing against one another, not quite on the same page as yet in these early stages.
Now, I was lucky enough to interview Austin Ludwig before Queensland played the Roar. In fact, we'll get back to that in a moment. Ramazani needs to clear here. Victoria with a possible opportunity, and a flying shot goes high and wide. Yeah, I had a chance to speak to Ludwig before that game, and he felt that the biggest challenge was the fact they only had 2 training sessions before that game. And while they know each other, as you say, inside out, back to front, playing against each other, it's a bit harder when you actually wear the same jersey.
Especially when you're thinking, anytime you're playing against these guys during the season, right, how do I stop them? How do I stop them? How do I stop them? And in a situation like tonight, it's, okay, how do I get the best out of them?
Not easy at all. Maeda really had nowhere to go and elected to use Thurtell, his goalkeeper. He's just trying to find Ramazani, but it was a little heavy. Franjic will take the throw.
Ramazani, a player who's had a bit of success in a couple of shades of orange with the Raw youth side, and then making his way to Lions. He's been transformational as a left-sided fullback for Darren Sign's team.
Victoria now with a little bit of space and can go forward through Daniel Edwards, the Avondale man. Like to just push back a little deeper again. They've given it up, so Queensland, oh, it's hit the ref.
We'll come back for the drop ball.
Tried to take it quickly, but not to be. The referee, I think, just wanted to come over and apologise first. There we go.
Mr. Armedovich following the letter of the law.
Indeed. Ludwig. Maeda. Again, just trying to release Joel Russell. Not to be. Edwards. Ludwig was there just to calm things down once more. Just played it into a Victorian attacker. On that occasion, it was Emmanuel Peters, who's still fighting hard and making Ludwig earn a goal kick, and in the end he has.
It was a good recovery from Ludwig as well. Peters, fantastic determination just to try and close down the Queensland defender. Get the goal kick for Thurtell.
So Imperial Corps Stadium is where we're at tonight. This is the home of Brisbane City. Strong club here in Brisbane. And now Victoria can look to break. Good looking ball in and a header. It was a glancing header across goal. I think it was Peters. Wasn't far away in the end.
And just another warning sign for Queensland, with Victoria having a bit of success down that far flank. Not wasting any time with this goal kick.
Yeah, it was not a bad option. Ramazani will back his pace to get past Franjic, and he's won the ball. Never an easy man to get past Franjic. He did well, Ramzani. He'll have another opportunity here. Jack Skinner was looking to break. Instead, he looks to the middle. Not to be. Victoria able to shut that one down as well. Danny Kim using Edwards. That ball out of play. Queensland will earn the throw. Phelps with a very long throw.
Decent run up as well.
Yeah, he got away with that there. Ramazani again, the Lions man. Russell. Maeda. And Ludwig picked someone out. He has picked out Skinner, who lost his feet. Referee ended up helping him out there potentially, because it looked as though he just slipped momentarily. There was a little bit of contact. This is Maeda. There wasn't a lot in that whistle. But it matters now. We play on. Thurtell.
We're saving the Queensland bias till the second half.
Oh, and that was
A little nibble from Martin.
Yeah, no problems with that referee call on that occasion. Gian Albano used to play with Bayswater and was on the books of Perth Glory in their youth team. Also competed in the NPL WA in recent times, and now finds himself at the Melbourne Knights. Victoria pushing forward, and a good opportunity here. He was taken down just outside the box. I don't think it's a penalty.
That's just outside the box by maybe the width of the football.
It's Jackson Courtney Perkins. This will give us an indication of how close it was to a penalty. Yeah, just outside, but a dangerous moment for Queensland here.
And this is Sion Cuba territory in my mind, Josh, as he has a wicked free kick, as we saw in his time playing in Queensland.
It looks like Cuba is standing over it.
And he can get wicked bend on it as well, so he might even opt to try and go around the 5-player Queensland wall that Thurtell has set up.
It's Cuba up and over the top. Just lacked a bit of power. He was very close and tried to just dink it over the wall. Not to be.
Well, perhaps a little early rangefinder for Cuba after a quarter of an hour. There was a game he was playing for Gold Coast United against Brisbane City. Kick-started a comeback for United with a free kick from a not too dissimilar spot to that. We bring up a few memories of these players with Queensland ties as the evening goes on. Just fair warning for you viewers.
I think we'll enjoy that. I certainly will. Michael McGowan, just a little heavy. Keeper collecting. Green Gully man, Liam Driscoll. Green Gully's got a few representatives tonight. Emmanuel Peters, also from Green Gully. As is Jalil Rigagwe. There we go. That's why you're here, James. Okay, now Victoria with an opportunity. This is Peters. A dangerous ball across the box. And, was there a handball in there? Players appealing for it. We may have to have another look at that. Of course, no VAR tonight.
Well, it definitely struck the hand of, I believe it was Phelps who had that last-ditch block. But that looks about as natural a position as it can get for me, Josh.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to get out of the way of the ball. Back live, and a good save from Jordan Thurtell. He looks to play the ball immediately to release the Queensland attackers. Flying for it was Russell.
It slipped as he made that kick as well, if you want to know just how much power he can get in his boots.
Martin, let it roll. Referee let it play. Cuba, perhaps still thinking about that glorious opportunity to open the scoring. That one's put well out of play.
Schultz, one of the Queensland interstate contingents. Ooh.
Now Queensland with a very good chance through Joel Russell. It was just taken away from him. It'll be a corner. Good little opportunity here for the boys in maroon.
Certainly is. They look like they've settled into it after a nervy opening 10 minutes, Queensland. There's a hefty challenge on Martin, but advantage played.
A few players to keep an eye out for here. Skinner lurking at the back. McGowan's in there too, as is Ludwig. It's played fairly short and well dealt with by Victoria. Queensland can reload through Maeda. Whips in a good-looking ball and well taken, Liam Driscoll. He's just settled down after a couple of early moments of nerves.
And just getting a little bit familiar with how this pitch at Brisbane City is playing. Different climate here in Brisbane compared to Victoria, as the groundskeeper will tell you, and quite a lot of traffic on this pitch in the last few weeks as well.
Yeah, the nighttime dew can be a real factor. It does start getting slippery in these warmer nights. Franjic. Nice piece of control from Peters. Collins now releasing Edwards. He tried to continue his run, but in the end Albano was just held up momentarily. Queensland well organised.
And that could be the value of that friendly last Friday night against the Roar for Queensland as well. A bit of a chance to get some familiarity with the guys in the squad. The two new additions have started on the bench from Moreton City. But a few departures as well. Jakub Budnic, Sam Klein, who's just signed for the Roar. Chris Lucas and Josip Milicevic.
It was great news to see Klein signed straight out of the NPL Queensland competition, getting an opportunity at A-League level, which just shows that the pathway is there.
Remember his Brisbane Roar debut coming in a makeshift jersey, as he was a late call up to the bench that afternoon up at Redcliffe.
Indeed.
I remember the strangest things, if you haven't noticed.
It's excellent. It's exactly what we need tonight. Give us that information. McGowan. Ludwig. Another touch for him. Still marshalling that defensive 3 that they're playing with at the back tonight. Ramazani will back his pace. Releasing Joel Russell. Can Russell get a dangerous ball in? In fact, he looks to pick out Pengelly. It was blocked. Russell, Maeda. Skinner just tried to do it a little bit too much in the end. The referee thought about blowing the whistle there. In the end, he didn't.
Back up for the challenge from Peters. Queensland wasting no time, but Peters, I think, still debating that call.
So Ludwig took it quickly while the referee was explaining the decision. Pengelly. Just pushed it into the box. Keeper's come out. He's in a bit of trouble here. Skinner flicks it on. And a goal to Andy Pengelly. The first goal of the night goes the way of the Maroons. And it was a very well-worked piece of play and probably a moment the goalkeeper might want again.
And of course, it had to be Andy Pengelly. He started the move by getting the ball in midfield, playing that through ball, and then following it up into the box. And all he does is score goals, Andy Pengelly. I mean, if you aren't aware of him now, you should be. Great work by Skinner, just taking that touch past the keeper. And that was not the easiest strike for the number 9 either.
No, it was played low to him. It was almost a half volley. He just tucked it away expertly. So first goal of the night. So often these games end up in penalty shootouts. Queensland will be eyeing off potentially scoring enough goals where it doesn't have to happen tonight like last year, but we'll see. Victoria, I'm sure, will respond.
Well, Pengelly, it took him 59 minutes to score down at the home of the Matildas last year, and this time he only needed 24 minutes.
He did it expertly. Victoria with an opportunity potentially to whip across in. Ludwig is defending staunchly. Eliopoulos ended up getting the ball out to Franjic, who sees it put out of play. Franjic will quickly take the throw. They need to get Franjic more involved, I think. Everything he's done so far has been a touch of class. Cuba. Player goes to ground in the box. It looked as though Ludwig got the ball first.
Yeah, Ludwig definitely got the ball first in that challenge. He played it off the striker and sort of collected him on the way through as incidental contact more than anything.
So let's take another look in your bottom right-hand corner. This will be interesting. Yeah, he got plenty of ball there, Ludwig. Did it expertly. Back live, Franjic playing a dangerous ball across the box. Cuba. In fact, it was Albano. Edwards. Emmanuel Peters tried a shot, but in the end it was cleared away. Victoria can reload here. Edwards has really got plenty of the ball with that left foot of his. This is Albano. Dangerous moments here for Queensland. Bramwell. Cuba was there, as is Franjic. Again, Queensland having to defend and clear the ball away.
A couple of players caught on their heels there from Queensland when they were trying to clear it. Not maybe the clearest of communication, trying to work out who's going to take the responsibility to just dump that ball away. Now, a bit of time to reset and regather for the home side.
Yeah, it's take a breath stuff at the moment. Queensland under fire since scoring that goal, and as they say, you're at your most exposed straight after you've scored. Have to be careful here, Queensland. Interesting there to see the Queensland substitutes. I saw DeBelle, he's one to watch. Regularly comes off the bench for the Gold Coast Knights. Adds a lot of pace. He's a goal scorer. Maybe we'll see him later on tonight.
A match like this, I'm expecting both of these benches to be emptied in the second half. A long season for a lot of these players.
That will roll out of play.
But I suppose if you're the Victorians who can resist a trip up to Queensland for a couple of days, and for Queensland, you can turn down the opportunity to play a game of football representing your state, or your nominal state as it may be.
Indeed. Well, they'll be feeling the better of the two sides early on, Queensland. They've had one excellent opportunity, and they put the ball in the back of the net through Andy Pengelly. Tyson Martin now just a little heavy. They've given the ball away here. Daniel Edwards with the throw. Cuba's given it away as well.
Patient passage of play at the moment. Both of these sides settled into their rotations. Now Queensland just enjoying a spell of possession. Poking and prodding around the Victorian team.
Martin using Maeda. Pengelly got an important touch, and now they can break through Jack Skinner, who was taken down rather crudely, and referee had no choice.
A whole lot of arguments from Danny Kim for that one. A quick, yep, completely understand that call, sir, and let's get on with it.
It's been a real feature of tonight for Jack Skinner, his beautiful ability to just change direction quickly. On that occasion, drew in the defender, who panicked just a little. It looks as though Naoki Maeda is standing over it, also Pengelly.
Pengelly and McGowan just having a bit of a discussion, but thinking maybe the Wolves midfielder to drive this one towards goal.
Maeda! It was so close. Gosh, it was almost 2-0.
Were it not for the deflection, I think it might have been. So a slight touch off the wall by the looks of it. Well, that's what they're there for, putting themselves and their faces in the line of danger.
Well, it doesn't matter how much it misses by, they'll say that they did the job. It wasn't far away though. Maeda will reload with a cross. It's a low chiseling ball. Skinner continues the danger for the Victorian defence. They'll have to clear here. A little shot there from Phelps was blocked. Not happy with the contact there, Emmanuel Peters, and referee agrees.
And not a whole lot of arguments either from Phelps, as I think that was a professional challenge, shall we say.
Victoria, wouldn't they love an equaliser before the break? Past 30 minutes now. What can they formulate here? Captain Franjic. Peters. Put out of play.
Victoria, they've been on the back foot a little bit more in the last 10 or so minutes. I just need to settle down, and these chances are going to come in a match like this in fits and spurts.
Little opportunity for Victoria going forward. Well defended in the end by Queensland. Martin looking to release Reece Gray. So too Russell, but in the end, well defended.
A bit too much on that pass, trying to pick out Russell. I think didn't have the position he would have been hoping for as he was trying to find a way around Eliopoulos.
High-speed stuff at the moment. Daniel Edwards, we know he likes to move the ball quickly, and he does. Peters. Looking to take on Ludwig. Again, professionally done. As he receives a warm round of applause, the Gold Coast Knights captain.
That is also why he has won so many Player of the Year awards by numerous outlets. Mr. Ludwig, he's been through the Raw youth system and played college over in Pennsylvania.
He's such a professional. I'm shocked that A-League sides haven't put more interest into him. Now Queensland attacking and strongly. Joel Russell runs onto the end of this one. What can Russell do? There's just no one there where he wanted it. He tried to put it into a dangerous area, and Maeda puts it out of play.
And it's interesting, they showed him his left foot there, Russell, and he took what was on offer, but maybe just blasting the shot at the near post and hoping for a rebound might have been the way to go as Queensland bench. Deep discussion over how to handle the next 15 or so minutes.
Edwards gets it back. Emmanuel Peters has been everywhere tonight. Now he's on the other side. Whips a dangerous ball back. He was trying to find Bramwell, who was in the box. Instead, it's put out for a corner.
Well, I'm not surprised Peters has swapped over from one side to another. He looks like their most dangerous outlet to date, but at left side of the Queensland defence, whether it is Ludwig or Ramazani tracking back, it's going to be tough no matter who it is.
Well, I wonder if they're looking to link him up with Daniel Edwards, who's causing all sorts of problems on that left side. That shot blocked. Franjic very heavy with his challenge. Referee lets it play. Good control again by Russell. Over the top for Pengelly. Has the flag stayed down? I think it has. No. It's just hard to see out of frame, but offside in the end.
It would have been a close call, but again defer to the man with the line of sight.
This will give us a pretty good indication. Oh, I think he was onside too.
I think he was as well, but I was watching the women's game, may say, well, swings and roundabouts.
Indeed. Franjic. It's a good ball. Well controlled. Victoria with an opportunity here. Courtney Perkins, if he can keep it in. Ludwig always gets a foot in, but he has at least earned Victoria a corner.
And that was pretty much all Ludwig could do. He just had to make sure he got contact on the ball and not the player in that situation, but that's what happens when you get the experienced defender making the challenge.
Sian Cuba on this occasion will take the corner. Flying up was Peters. Franjic. Dangerous ball across the box. Maeda has a little bit of space. Using Ramazani. Queensland in the end played it well.
It's left for Ramazani to take the throw in.
So Lions FC, Gold Coast Knights, they've got such a strong rivalry with each other, but Jack Skinner and Joel Russell, gee, it's a pleasure to watch them play together tonight. They've played a lot against each other.
It's the luxury of these sorts of matches where you get to see the two dynamic young attackers linking up and seeing what they're capable of as well, and working in a trio with Pengelly. That's about as dangerous as a strike force as you could field based on who was available tonight.
Yeah, pretty good.
Of course, Marquez Walters from Moreton City would have been another valuable addition, but he's unavailable tonight.
A quality player, Walters, is an electrician, which we learnt during the grand final.
I've been told not to make a joke about him being the spark plug for the Moreton City attack.
I think I might have made that joke on the broadcast that night.
Oh, good, so it's not just me who thought of that.
No, not at all. So Victoria with a throw. Some young Queensland fans trying to lift their team here. in the background trying to get a second goal. Queensland, can they oblige? There are those fans having a great time at Imperial Corp Stadium.
A few nervous faces despite this being officially a post-season friendly as well.
Well, anytime Queensland plays anything, the fans are up and about for it. Doesn't matter whether it's chess, tiddlywinks or soccer.
Almost the us against the world mentality.
You know it. Daniel Edwards. Again, Peters showing that excellent skill. He's found Cuba. In the end, cleared by Jack Skinner. Oh, a heavy clash. I am sure the referee won't like this.
I think that might have been a yellow card if this was an NPL match rather than the state v state clash.
Yeah, I would have thought that's definitely the case. It was just this challenge here from Joel Russell in your bottom corner. That one right there.
I think you could have almost taken your pick, the shirt pull or the ice hockey check, perhaps.
Either one. Maybe 2 + 2 would have equaled a yellow card. So Victoria with an opportunity now in a fairly dangerous position. Franjic will whip the ball in. Albano waiting near the box, as is a bunch of Victorian attacking players. Ben Collins, oh, he's had it pickpocketed. Reece Gray did well there. One back by Edwards. Courtney Perkins. Back on his left foot. Gee, I'd love to see the stats on how many touches of the ball both Daniel Edwards and Austin Ludwig have had tonight.
I feel like they'd be quite high up on the list, not just for their teams, but for the match in general.
They have had plenty of it. Maeda. Climbing high was Joel Russell. Got a bit of a shove. Referee let it play. Franjic. Still plenty of speed in those legs.
And just that know-how that comes with all those years of top-level football across the A-League, over in Russia as well. Just knows where to get in the right position, and well, his pace might not be what it used to be. That experience can get him a step ahead of where he might have been 10 years ago.
He's played some pretty big games around the world, Franjic. None bigger than some of those World Cup matches.
Starting right back for Ange Postecoglou.
Indeed.
During his run, and he's put in the assist for Tim Cahill against Chile, as mentioned earlier. He's calling time on his decorated playing career, but he is about to move into coaching. He's already player coach. He's on the ball, heading it to Cuba.
There's Cuba. Franjic, he was hoping he would make a run. In the end, he didn't. Ramazani controlling well. Now he can break. In fact, that's not yes, it is Ramazani. What am I talking about? Ball up over the top. Victoria, in the end, getting the ball back. So still, these sides are just separated by one goal. Andy Pengelly was the goal scorer. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the opening half.
Ramazani leaving it for Ludwig.
In fact, I think he'll leave it for the goalkeeper.
It's way too early for time wasting, surely.
Well, I was going to say, it's a little bit like, it's not musical chairs, it's musical football. So Jordan Thurtell. A very long bomb down the ground. Victoria, if they can just control here, they could potentially have another opportunity to score before half-time. Joel Russell.
I assume this game's going to peter out into half-time at your own risk.
Well, Peters might have something to say about that as he breaks down the wing. Put well and truly out of play and into the car park.
haven't seen as many pedestrians trying to peek through the fence as we had during the women's game.
Peters battling with Gray. Gray won on that occasion, but only as far as Daniel Edwards once again. Franjic, the general. What can he muster here?
I'm loving this, having the young fans in the crowd.
They're pumped, aren't they?
They are.
Maeda controlled it very well. He always seems to just have a bit of time and space, Maeda. Excellent with ball at feet. Ramazani, I'm not sure who that was to other than the goalkeeper.
Rush of blood, perhaps. Ramazani, more than capable of hitting a long-range bullet, so he might have just overhit that one, though.
Maeda with a strong challenge. I thought he got away with it for a moment there, not to be.
Cuba trying to pinch a few extra metres.
Danny Kim, Franjic. Kim will get it back. Using Collins. Edwards. Queensland have got it back here, and now they push forward in numbers. Oh, another strong challenge. Ramazani will fall on the end of it, though.
Martin was calling for the pass, but Gray instead tried to go for something a little bit more spectacular.
Tried the 1-2, Ramazani. Franjic, of course, was awake to it. Now it opens up through the middle for Tyson Martin if he wants to have a shot. He gets it back. It's taken down strongly. It was outside the box, but no free kick.
Just a good, strong challenge, as I think every defender watching will applaud that one.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. He got plenty of the ball.
Leopoulos with the challenge.
Kept in play by Albano. He's got a bit of space here if he can get past Ludwig. Very few players do, though. As he clears expertly once again. Danny Kim, Franjic. Leopoulos. Now Edwards with a ton of space. Always dangerous with space, Edwards. Victoria pressing to end this first half. Collins. And that one goes way up over the top and over the fence.
Into the area behind Imperial Corp Stadium, but Victoria still chancing their arms, as it were, trying to find a way back into it. And it's just that one moment that has the two sides separated so far. It's feeling like Queensland maybe deserved the lead based on the balance of play, but Victoria have been in it.
Yeah, the Victorians have had their moments, but Queensland just a little bit more clinical in the key moments, and certainly that goal from Pengelly was expertly tucked away. So we've gone past regulation time, just the one added minute.
Not too many stoppages to add on outside of maybe the goal celebration.
Yeah, it's been free-flowing football, no cards, which is what we like to see in a friendly. The referee's only blown the whistle when he's felt he's had to, so I think it's been really well controlled tonight so far. Oh, and the ball just rolling dangerously across the box. It was Joel Russell. Goalkeeper happy to see that one in the end cleared.
And Franjic, I don't know if his heartbeat would have gone above 60 on that one. So cool, calm and collected.
He's so calm, isn't he? Ramazani. Pengelly, the goal scorer. Very dangerous position for Martin. He just couldn't control it. And that's half time. So we are only separated by an Andy Pengelly goal. Queensland leading 1, Victoria 0. We will be back with all the highlights of the first half in a moment. Don't go away.
Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
Entertaining first half, plenty of action, plenty of excitement, and of course, always a great rivalry between Queensland and Victoria. Your thoughts on the first half, James Coghlan?
Well, that's pretty much it. It has been an even first half. Queensland slightly shading it in terms of chances, both in quality and numerically. The 1-0 lead through Pengelly feels very, very deserved, but look, 45 minutes is a long time in football, and you know Victoria won't just want to make this trip all for naught, as we got the first half highlights now.
Yeah, Austin Ludwig there, you can see he is a man that has had plenty of touches tonight, as has Ivan Franjic. Jacob Oleopoulos was involved on that occasion.
A few nervous moments at the back for Queensland early on, but a few nervous moments at the back for Victoria as well.
Yeah, Jack Skinner on that occasion almost managed to track that ball down. Again, that was a heavy challenge very early on in the match.
Afraid to throw their weight around some of these players.
Yeah, it was a nasty challenge in the end. I think we'd probably see that be a yellow card on other occasions. And we saw a shot there from Joel Russell, just a little high and wide. In the end, wasn't a corner. A glancing header. Just couldn't quite find the back of the net. But Victoria continued to attack. They had a possible opportunity for a penalty. It was just outside the box. Unfortunately, nothing came of that free kick. Emmanuel Peters, though, has been involved in everything.
They have, and they've shifted him from he was on the right there, penalty shout, but natural arm position for Michael McGowan. But Peters, he started off on the right. They shifted him over to the left to try and create a few more chances, as he was having a very tough time of it against the experienced left side of Queensland's defence. As Maeda teeing up Russell, going for a run into the box.
Russell was very dangerous. Maeda as well. Had plenty of the ball. So too Jack Skinner. Just couldn't quite get on the end of that one. But he was heavily involved in the goal. This is Skinner. He was able to dodge around the goalkeeper, who committed himself, and once he did that, Andy Pengelly said thank you very much.
And Reece Gray with the through ball to set up the chance for Skinner, and Pengelly, as he does so often here in Queensland, he's right there to finish, and it wasn't the easiest of chances. That ball was almost about to bounce and played it into the ground, and it was enough to get by the Victorian defenders.
This was a golden opportunity made, or it just took a little touch off the wall and went wide. But Queensland, with that one early goal, interesting to see the name Victoria on the cup in 2023.
Well, they did it the hard way in 2023. It went to penalties on that occasion. It finished 1-1 after 90 minutes. Will we have more of the same here? Well, we've got another 45 minutes to find out.
Yeah, looking forward to the next half. I wonder if the coaches will make some changes. You'd have to say, I know you said earlier on that they probably empty their benches, give everyone an opportunity to play. Who are some of the players we could see in the next half?
Well, for Victoria, I've got my eye on Mark Ochieng, former Adelaide United A-League player. Meanwhile, for Queensland, Godfrey Debele and Luke Francis, those two attackers, they'll bring something different in the second half. Francis scored against the Raw last week and already locked up for Wynnum for next season, thankfully.
Not a bad little feather in the cap to have scoring against the Raw. As we take a break, we'll be back with your second half action.
Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
Second half action not far away. Josh McLean and James Coughlin bringing you all the action tonight. It's the Mitre Festival of Football. It's state versus state, and it's Queensland versus Victoria. What are you hoping to see in this next half, James?
Well, look, the general rule as a commentator I've found is we hope for chaos. I just want goals. And there's been no shortage of chances, maybe a few opportunities that might have been capitalised on with these guys playing for their clubs. But I feel like there's too much attacking talent for this game to finish 1-0, including Sian Cuba, who has got 38 appearances in NPL Queensland, split across Gold Coast Knights and United.
He's quite a player. We saw an early opportunity for him to score in the first half. Couldn't quite find the back of the net, but always remains a danger. Final words of advice.
Looks like Luke Francis might be coming on for Queensland. Strong striker and wants to stir it up in many ways.
It'll be interesting to see if he can make an impact coming on. Queensland would dearly love a second goal to put this one away. Of course, Victoria almost looking to do the reverse. I believe Victoria scored first in last year's clash. Queensland scored late to take it to a penalty shootout.
Yusuf Ahmed, 55th minute, Andy Pangeli, 59th, and it was a extended shootout. So only bonus football, bonus penalties in that match.
Well, we love bonus penalties. Extra football, always a good thing.
We love it when it's not the Matildas at the World Cup. That's all I will say.
Well, that sure was nerve-wracking against France, wasn't it? Yeah, great, though. Of course, the Socceroos this week. It's been a big week for our national side. Graham Arnold moving on.
And I was hoping for a quiet Friday at work.
Me too. Yes, I was very busy commentating. Calling that particular moment at work, putting it into a story. There's a few substitutions for Victoria. Bull Watch is coming on.
And a keeper sub as well. Piers Clark coming on for Liam Driscoll. And just confirming that other Victorian sub as well. It is Emmanuel Peters replaced by Bull Watch.
So no more Peters, who was very impressive in that opening half. So Daniel Edwards with an early touch. Boy, was he good. He was everywhere in the opening half of Victoria as they look to work the ball out of their defence to start this second half. Looking to release Daniel Edwards. Just beat him out of play.
John Russell has been withdrawn for Queensland. Like you say, is the Moreton City midfielder coming on in his place. And Luke Francis coming on as well. Just double check who the second player to come off was.
So that ball will put out of play. It will be a Queensland throw. It's Lockie Sayers, the Moreton City Excelsior midfielder. Phelps was involved. Pengelly, he's still out there. Ramazani using Pengelly. Can't miss Ramazani's boots. They are very orange, and it was almost teed up perfectly for Luke Francis. In the end, he gave away a free kick.
I think, yeah, he was in the right place, Francis, and that's going to be the difference we're going to see for Queensland in this half. It's going to be a much more physical approach with Francis leading the line.
It's a big body, Francis.
Glad I'm not marking him.
Yeah, I wouldn't enjoy that either. Goalkeeper under pressure. Ramazani was closing quick, but it'll be a goal kick. Just looking to test out Pierce Clark early on. And he, of course, only just came on the field. Ben Collins will work it out.
And would you believe Pierce Clark has Queensland ties?
Well, I'm not surprised. There's been a few.
Give Scott from the Brisbane Football Review a bit of credit for doing the hard work, researching all the Queenslanders running around, or plays with Queensland ties running around in Victoria as well.
That's not easy, because given there were 41 of them, that would have taken a while.
It was, but he's committed to his craft, I'll say that much.
Clearly. It's Josh Phelps. Peninsula Power man, and I'm told he values logic, morality, and a positive team culture.
Sounds about right. It does sound like Penn Power as well.
Yeah. The goal kick taken. It was Warch's first touch. Ball put out of play. There is Bull Watch. Altona Magic Man. Born in South Sudan, his family fled the country due to the South Sudanese civil war. Raised in a Kenyan refugee camp. Family immigrated to Australia when he was 12 years old. So wonderful to see Bull out there doing great things tonight.
It is the best part of football. I know we joke about the Queenslanders, but it is very much the world's game.
Yeah, brilliant.
Players from Japan, New Zealand and South Sudan and all over Australia walk into a locker room and you've got the Victorian side.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? Such a world game, of course. And now an opportunity to get on the ball, Luke Francis. Ramazani. Pengelly is there, so too Maeda. Ramazani was the man who played the ball through for Francis. Dodging left and right. In the end, he's lost it. Cuba. He's done the same. Ludwig getting back to help out.
And Thurtell has stayed in goal after half-time. I was wondering if we might see Josh Langdon, the expert shot stopper from Gold Coast Knights.
Yeah, maybe later on. Although as a goalkeeper, the last thing you want is to be subbed on late in the match and then you have to do a penalty shootout.
Although some goalkeepers do revel in that spotlight. I can think of Andrew Redmayne. Ooh.
Dean Pengelly with a flying shot. He scored!
Oh,
What
that's
a corner.
ridiculous.
What is going on? Pengelly, the goalkeeper just stood there and watched it go in the net.
I don't know if he was unsighted, but that is a special strike from Andy Pengelly. And he now has 2 in this game. He loves scoring against Victoria. 3 in 2 matches now.
Well, I wonder if there was a deflection. The goalkeeper was completely unsighted. This will probably show us. Pengelly has got a brace. I'm not sure there was a deflection. I think the keeper was just unsighted with his defender in the way. We've got 2 on the board to Queensland.
Well, it looks like as clean a strike as you will see. And again, who else? Andy Pengelly. Are you watching A-League?
Yeah, surely. He should be a man in demand.
That one was for Cameron Atfield, if you're watching. I think he might be Pengelly's biggest fan.
No doubt. Great opportunity for NPL players and the best NPL players to show their wares on another level of football. Andy Pengelly is certainly making us all take notice tonight. Here's a man that's done that over his whole career, Franjic.
He's going to want to see out the full 90 minutes, surely, Franjic.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought he'd want to come from the field. They need him out there too to make something happen. Maeda didn't quite get that where he wanted, but again, Ludwig, in fact, he's had it taken away on this occasion. Dangerous moments for Queensland. It's in the box, but well collected by Thurtell.
Heavy touch from Courtney Perkins in the build-up there, but you've got to give him credit for dispossessing Ludwig. And smart work by Ramazani. He just wanted to have a little nibble at the ball, Ramazani, but instead opted for the safe option and not risking giving away the penalty.
Martin was mowed down from behind. That's a fair call, I would imagine. Queensland looking to take it quickly. Martin with a bit of space now. He's just given it away. I think he was expecting Reece Gray to be there. He did well to recover it in the end.
These are not the easiest conditions for the players as well. I know the joke is Queensland only has about 3 days of winter, but it is starting to get significantly warmer than the conditions these guys would have been playing in for the bulk of the season. Especially at some of the grounds where the temperatures drop quite rapidly. Thinking of Copley Family Sports Park on the Gold Coast and the Compass Grounds. Some of Redlands United. There's two of the chief offenders.
Ramazani with the throw. Francis through the middle. Phelps. McGowan. Ludwig had pushed up. Ramazani with some excellent skill. Cross just not quite finding the target. Queensland will have the throw.
Looking in from Ramazani, he's getting a lot more involved to start this second half. He's very much an attacking fullback for Darren Syme at Lions. He's found a way to unlock Ramazani's potential when teamed up with Jackson Hart-Phillips on the left side of that Lions defence. Ramazani playing in the centre and Hart-Phillips as the winger, which...
This is Albano. It looked as though there might have been a handball in there, even if it was unintentional. Referee let it play. Jordan Thurtell, in the end, comfortable.
Well, I suppose it also depends what the handball rule is this week. I think it's changed so many times.
Yeah, I never like seeing at high levels of football when VAR is used, and if the ball even touches an arm, despite the player not playing at it at all, completely incidental, and you give away a penalty. I'd never like to see that. I mean, originally the rule was that if you're struck unintentionally, it's not a penalty, but so often we see that not the case.
It's always a catch-22 with the way some of these rules are written. Do you want to leave room for interpretation, or do you just want to have it as a hard and fast rule to make the job perhaps a little bit easier for the referee?
Well, at least that's one way of having some sort of normality and formality. This ball put out of play. The home crowd have been vocal tonight.
Good challenge again from Reece Gray, who was coached by none other than John Cosmina in his high school days at Gregory Terrace. And he was a former Brisbane City man as well, Reece Gray.
Not a bad man to learn your football from.
Quite a few of Reece Gray's Terrace teammates are now making their way around in NPL Queensland. Malachi Love Samira, Solomon Veldemariam, just to name a couple. Joseph Hitchcock as well, midfielder at Penn Power.
Ramazani putting that one out of play. Franjic will take it quickly. Cuba. Danny Kim. Now Cuba will get it back in a turn of speed as he pushes through the midfield and tries to make something happen. Goalkeeper had to come out and did well in the end, Thurtell.
That was almost a perfect pass there from Cuba. He knew where his attackers were going to be making the run and just split it between the two of them, which allowed Thurtell to come off his line.
Excellent little play there by Martin. He was able to flick the ball on. Now Queensland are away. Reece Gray had it taken away from him expertly by Daniel Edwards. Albano had to beat two, and in the end, the ball bounced fortuitously for him. And he has men on the far side. Franjic is there, as is Cuba. Cuba's just decided to go up a notch here and attack a little bit more. I like to see it. Really, Victoria, no opportunity now. They must throw hell to leather. They must at least pull one back if they're going to stay in this match. Certainly can't afford to concede a third. Franjic. Thurtell. Comfortable.
And Victoria just starting to make a few more forward forays towards the Queensland goal, as fatigue might be a bit of an issue for some of these players.
Phelps. That looked to be a handball. Referee said, nah, don't worry about it. Guys, keep playing.
Well, he's been consistent in this match. Trying to keep this flowing as quick as possible.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I think that's all the players really seem to want, is clear communication and consistency. It doesn't matter if they're going to pick a few fouls, as long as they know what to expect.
Reece Gray. He's got Martin. Tried to play a little 1-2. Didn't quite work out.
Collins with the block on Martin.
Albano was taken down rather crudely. And a yellow card, our first of the night. This time going the way of Tyson Martin.
First yellow card in 2.5 hours of football here.
Well, you know it had to take something fairly rough to produce a card in this friendly.
4 in all competitions for Martin during the season.
Ouch can keep it in. He can. Courtney Perkins. Headed away by Phelps. Danny Kim. Edwards. Clever little ball. Bryce Bramwell it was. Again, Jordan Thurtell doing some good work tonight.
He's had to be on his guard, Thurtell. He's had to come off his line a few times to get a few balls that were loose in the box, and at the very least make sure he's in clear communication with his defenders too.
Long kick. A bit of a dangerous one. It was well played in the end. The last line of defence. Ilopoulos. Victoria with no time to lose. Ben Collins. Youch. Franjic. Cuba. Couldn't get the ball past Martin, but he wins it back. Strong play from Cuba and continues to back himself. Taken down there by Ludwig. It looks as though he got all ball. Referee agrees. It needed to be a well-timed challenge.
Oh, that was a stomp from Cuba. He just went straight at Martin, and now it's going to kick off. That was an ugly stamp from Cuba on Martin in retaliation.
Well, Ludwig saw it and he came running over and retaliated. All of a sudden, this friendly is not so friendly.
Well, look, I get Cuba's frustration with maybe not getting the foul that he thought he should have had, but there is no excuse for stamping on a player like that. He's a fiery competitor, but that felt like it was over the line.
Well, I'm not entirely sure the referee saw it, because at the time he didn't blow the whistle. He's trying to figure out what's happened here.
This might be where he needs to communicate with his assistants as well.
I personally didn't see it either. I'm just waiting, hoping for a replay, because I would imagine if what you say happened, that should be a straight red.
It should be, but I suppose it also depends if there was actually any contact as well. Oh, so
It's not great, is it?
no, it was an attempted stomp, but I think he actually missed Martin's legs, luckily.
Well, I think he got a talking to there. I'm not sure if he got a yellow card.
I think he is a very lucky boy to perhaps only get away with a caution in that instance, and it might have just come down to the fact that on replay, he didn't make as much contact with the legs of Martin as he might have originally wanted to.
Well, yeah, what I will say is that if he did make contact, that should have been a red card and a straight red card every day of the week. But anyway, we will continue. The game goes on.
6 yellow cards during the NPL season for Cuba, so not an unfamiliar sight for him.
Referee still just having a chat. Martin continues to plead his case in disbelief that that wasn't a red card. As we say, Danny Kim goes off the ground.
And also it is Ivan Franjic withdrawn as well, so that is potentially the last time we will see the former Socceroos player on the pitch. And I suppose all we can say for him is congratulations on a wonderful career and best of luck with your coaching.
Indeed, what a player. It's been an absolute honour and a privilege to watch him play over the years and to call him tonight.
Had to get at least one of his games.
Well, he's played enough of them. We were eventually going to get one. A fantastic player and a brilliant Socceroo through our golden era.
So the 3 players coming on for Victoria after that change. Mark Ochieng in 12, Jalil Regagwe in 15 and Junior Keita in 16.
All right, finally back underway. That ball lands nicely. It was Reece Gray who initially had an opportunity. Victoria also looking to stop Queensland as they retreat.
I was wondering if those substitutions might take a little bit of the sting out of it, but certainly seems like there's plenty of fire left in these players.
Yeah, it was fascinating to see Austin Ludwig immediately run over to Cuba and remonstrate. He saw something that we ended up seeing on the replay. He's usually unflappable, the Queensland captain. The armband is now around Ben Collins' arm, with Franjic no longer out there.
And I suppose on both sides of the equation, this is where the players need to maybe just let go that confrontation earlier and try to refocus, get their attention back on the match at hand. Queensland trying to hold on to a 2-0 lead. Victoria trying to find their way back from a 2-0 deficit.
Edwards with the throw. Courtney Perkins whipped it across the box. Ramazani, somewhat aerobically, or acrobatically I should say, has given away a corner.
Well, he feels like he might have been pushed. That was his signal to Mr. Ahmedovich, the referee, but he did what he had to at least get the ball away, and the corner is not the worst result here for Queensland. See that stomp action again from Cuba. And if Martin's knee was down, that could have been a very different outcome.
For sure. So corner. Ludwig defending. Edwards is there. They will reload Victoria. Thurtell got a punch to it and did well. Strong challenge, feet up, studs up. Queensland have earned the ball. This is the punch from Thurtell.
This challenge here, it does look like, to his, in all fairness, it did look like he slid in front of the Queensland player rather than trying to make contact with the studs.
Yeah, always dangerous when you go in studs up.
It's a massive risk to take, but see a couple of changes potentially coming soon for Queensland.
It's just kept in play by Reece Gray.
Was that raised arm from Courtney Perkins? The frustration is definitely building here.
Yeah, there's suddenly a little bit of feeling in this match. A bit of hanging on going on there as well. I think the referee is going to have to keep an eye on things here. The last thing we want is for things to get out of control.
That is definitely true. It would be nice to have a relatively friendly-ish final 24 minutes of this match.
Victoria will be hoping for at least one more goal, or one goal tonight, to give themselves a chance of levelling things up. Little ball over the top. Thurtell really has been good between the goals tonight. Hasn't had too many balls to save, but what he's had to do is commit on various occasions, back himself. At times he's come out of his box when he's needed to. He's defended well. Regagwe. Edwards. Another good little ball for Courtney Perkins. Edwards is in a dangerous position here.
And saved by the offside flag on the far side.
Now, a few Queensland players immediately put their hands up.
Which means it's either a very obvious decision or one that they're really trying to sell. It's up to you at home to decide which one that one was.
Header won on that occasion by the captain, Collins. Important ball won there. Now Martin is involved, so is Pengelly. Wanted a free, didn't get it. Pengelly went in rather strongly and a bit of a push as well. Words exchanged. Again, a little bit of spite coming in.
I feel like there might be a little bit of frustration from Victoria as well. They might feel like they should be winning this match based on the league that they've got down there, and I'm sure Queensland will be more than happy to stir things up.
Well played again from Thurtell. Again, had to commit himself early.
Sata Murai being prepared to enter the fray.
Victoria need to mount something here. Queensland, that defensive line has been so strong tonight. They're just sitting back now. Feel like they're just happy to soak up the minutes, take a 2-0 victory. There's not a lot of attacking going on from Queensland at the moment.
Or I feel like, as any Brisbane Roar fan will say, 2-0. Maybe not a lead that you'll want to sit on with 20 minutes to go still, especially considering the attacking prowess on the opposite side, wearing blue.
Martin again. He's been involved in a few little pieces of byplay. On that occasion, the whistle goes his way. Another substitution. That looks like Godfrey DeBelle.
Carson Martin coming off. And Andy Pengelly. So no chance for a hat-trick for Pengelly. It's a special night for Andy Pengelly. 2 goals, and also a special night for Sata Murai. This is his 40th match of the season in all competitions.
I think he's earned a break.
I think that's also why he's only playing 20 minutes tonight as well.
Play underway again.
Oh, that's going to be another yellow card. Carter.
The referee's had a lot more to do in the second half than he did in the first. And those cards are starting to get a workout.
Perhaps this is his best course of action, just to try and keep things under control.
Yeah, the studs were certainly up this challenge, and when you do that and you don't get the ball,
or even now in modern football, when you go through the ball,
yeah,
still perceived as dangerous.
Absolutely. So it'll be taken by Lockie Sayers. Rising high for a header was Phelps, but it'll be a goal kick. Good interception. Queensland have won it back here. Will they look to attack at any stage and eye off a third goal, or will they sit back? They'll need to do some defending here. Bramwell was involved. Courtney Perkins tried to put the foot through it. Thurtell, in the end, unchallenged.
I feel like it's a very dangerous game for Queensland, just wanting to sit back and absorb this pressure. Maybe they're just taking it on for a few minutes just before pushing a little bit further forward, because you don't want to allow Victoria to spend the next 20 or so minutes in the Queensland half.
You're right. Ramazani, he's still out there, causing all sorts of troubles in the opening half. It's been a little quieter in this half. You have an opportunity here, possibly, to whip one into the box. In fact, he elects to just play it safe.
Ramazani, another Iron Man. I think this is his 39th match in all competitions this season.
That's a lot of games, isn't it? They get plenty of miles out of the players across all the competitions.
They do. I remember a stat, it would have been from about 2007, where Brett Emerton for Club and Country played 60 matches in a 12-month span.
There's a lot of matches. DeBelle had it taken away. In fact, he won it back in the end. He did well.
He had to play a few of those matches for Blackburn as well.
You can also imagine the amount of travel, particularly now that the Socceroos are in the Asian Confederation. There is a lot of travel for those European-based players.
There is, and funnily enough, Australian home games are the ones where they've got to travel the most for.
Exactly.
And it's always one of those frustrating parts for an international manager where sometimes they're getting players 36 hours before kickoff, and I felt like it was always one of the things that is perhaps a unique struggle for this part of the world as well, where we've got so many players over in Europe in the national team.
Yes, it is a unique way of playing football when you're a Socceroo and a Matilda. A lot of our Matildas play overseas as the ball is whipped in dangerously. Ooh. Ludwig! It would have been a very rare goal for the defender. He wasn't far away in the end.
But he always seems to pop up in the crucial moments when another goal wouldn't go astray. Only 3-4 nights this season.
Well, it was a lovely cross from Ramazani. Rose high. Yeah, it wasn't far away.
Although in fairness to Clark, I think he might have had that near post covered, but
Ramazani was just shoved off the ball there. He wanted a whistle. He didn't get it. Murai is battling for it. In the end, the whistle goes the other way.
Well, I think that's the most civil interaction we've had for about an hour now.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating second half.
Carter and Murai just exchanging a chuckle after that foul.
Queensland initially got it back, but Victoria worked back well. This is Cuba. Wonder if he'll back himself again. Just caught late. Victoria elect to play it quickly. They have to go quickly. They've only got 25 minutes left of regulation time to pull back a couple of goals if they have hopes of getting their name back on that trophy, or at very least forcing a penalty shootout. Has to be quick here. There's Queenslanders everywhere. DeBelle was involved. Murray on the left. In the end, he probably should have taken it first time.
Well defended by Eliopoulos in that instance, just making himself as big as possible and narrowing the angles for Murray. Unselfish play from Gray to try and tee up his teammate.
He wanted his left foot, didn't he?
He did. I think perhaps he could have hit it first time. There's a pretty good right foot as well.
Yep.
The active support is back.
They're back. Loud and proud as Maeda takes the corner. Excellent corner. DeBelle was at the back. Murray was involved again. Phelps using Ramazani. Excellent control from Maeda. Now Queensland can reload. Murray working into the box. He's looking dangerous. And he may get another shot here. It's Murray. He scored, I think. Oh, it's the side netting. I thought it was in. He's hit the side netting.
Oh, line of sight, our worst enemy there. But how about the impact from the sub, Murray?
He was causing all sorts of problems in the box. It just snuck to the left side of the post.
Almost calamitous at the back for Victoria.
Another sigh of relief for Victoria. Still just hanging on. Eliopoulos. Gagway. Cuba. Working his way through the middle again. Cuba using that speed. Tries to dink it over the top to Edwards.
I don't think there's a pass Cuba can't play, or at least isn't willing to try to play.
Referee's flag was up for offside. Queensland take it very quickly. DeBelle. Victorian throw. In fact, referee's assistant.
Called a free kick?
Yeah, he called a free kick. It was right in front of him. He was in perfect position for it. Now Victoria. What can they muster? They have to just go for it now. Courtney Perkins. Ludwig. Again, expertly done.
We talked about Franich being the coolest player on the pitch. I don't think Ludwig is too far behind him. Just reads the game so well and knows how to get himself in position as Chiang was trying to force the error.
Well, he plays like a man with 200 A-League caps under his belt.
He does, and a yellow card for Thurtell. So do you bring on Josh Langdon now to pick up one for time wasting as the match goes on?
Yeah, not the worst shout.
Francis still throwing himself around. Delayed offside call.
So Collins using Cuba again. If this rolls out of play, Victoria will be disappointed because they've just handed the ball back fairly simply there to Queensland. They'll be more than happy to take as long as they'd like.
He's very much in the professional game management stage for Queensland. So we've got players like Murray, who's more than comfortable on the ball and a full 360-degree range of passing.
He's got lovely skills, hasn't he?
A bit of recruitment by Cam Miller and Moreton City. And if you are tuning in from interstate, Moreton City was formerly known as Moreton Bay up to 2024 before the amalgamation between Moreton Bay and Albany Creek.
Yeah, it ended up really strengthening that club. They made it all the way to the NPL Grand Final this year.
Very successful run under Cam Miller, Australia Cup quarter-final as well.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Very strong footballing region, Moreton Bay. The Raw used to play at KO Stadium out at Redcliffe. Now they're back at Suncorp, but lots of young fans inspired to play the game in the Moreton Bay region because of that.
I don't know, it wasn't the most popular decision with the fans, the Raw playing up at Redcliffe, but I mean, I didn't mind the drive out there.
Yeah, we did it a few times, didn't we?
We did.
Queensland doing well here just to maintain possession.
Definitely preferred the twilight kickoffs to the mid-afternoon ones, though, and I think the players would agree.
They were mighty hot. Ramazani, DeBelle, dancing. Queensland just happy to maintain possession, kill the clock, keep things calm, really deny Victoria any more goal-scoring opportunities by the looks. Although Edwards has won it back here, and now Victoria needs to break and break quickly, and they can through Tian Cuba. Courtney Perkins, strong challenge was needed, and it was well done from Phelps. Will we have a late twist in the tail?
Never rest comfortably when it's 2-0.
Yeah, so often we see if they pull one back, sometimes the side with only one goal lead can get the jitters. Can they pull one back here, Victoria?
Well, we know they're not going to stop Victoria. And the more Queensland allows them to advance, the more dangerous they become.
That ball just a little heavy. Played out a little too far for Ochieng.
Talk about the game management stage for Queensland. The best player I've seen in NPL Queensland at that is Josh Brindle South from Lions. Briefly of the Brisbane Roar as well. And did that stay in?
Just bounced out. Where is Brindle South tonight?
I think he's just unavailable for these matches, but anytime Lions had a lead late in the match, he was always the first one to just take as long as was allowed. There's a term I would like to describe him with, but I don't think it's suitable for broadcast.
It's just game management. Regagwe. Collins. Victoria have to show just a little bit of urgency now. Time is very much against them. Ochieng. Gets it back. Bramwell was trying to make a run into the box. Instead, that probably wasn't what Victoria was hoping for.
Still poking and prodding Victoria, but the Queensland back three, which is still unchanged from the opening kickoff, holding up to the challenge well.
Keeper had to go. DeBelle got a bit of it. There's an opportunity now for Godfrey DeBelle. Gray hit the crossbar. Dear, oh dear. It could have so easily been 3-0, and now Victoria can go back the other way, although Thurtell came out and did well.
There's a great chance for Queensland here. Gray teeing up Francis, and maybe the ball just a little bit too quick to reach him. Still got a pretty good shot away.
Yeah, it was a fabulous effort. So close to making it 3.
Luke Francis is the NPL Queensland Golden Boot winner, beating out some stiff competition, including some of his teammates tonight.
Sayers did well. He's won a throw. Never stopped working on that play. So it looks as though Trent Millard will come on. Gold Coast Knights fullback. Joined the Knights from Central Coast Mariners. 6 seasons with Brisbane Roar Academy. Ramazani has put in a good shift tonight.
He has Ramazani, steady as always, up and down the pitch. Get some well-deserved congratulations from coaching staffs who normally find him to be a fair bit of a headache.
Indeed. Must be nice to have him on their side instead of coaching against them. Players of that calibre.
The player left on the bench for Queensland is Josh Langdon. He played half a game last week.
The backup gloveman. I don't think we'll see him now.
Presumably not, as I think they're going to give Thurtell the chance to see out this fixture. Well, I'm fairly certain Langdon won't mind. It's a rare chance for him to just sit back and enjoy a game of football. By my numbers, he's had 147 NPL matches for Gold Coast Knights since 2019. One of the mainstays at that club and 3-time NPL Queensland champion.
It's quite a resume.
Right for a guy still only in his mid-20s.
Yeah. Well, he could end up with a very large amount of games if he plays deep into his 30s.
As keepers are wont to do.
Yes, very, very often indeed. Victoria now, this is Cuba. Dispossessed by Murai. He has an absolute world of space in front of him. He has DeBelle as well. I think that one ended up rolling out for a throw.
It did last touch off the Knights attacker, DeBelle. Victorian physio looks like she might be up as we just have a brief break in the action. See this challenge from Murai on Cuba, and Murai just got his foot ahead of Cuba as to try and strike the ball, the Avondale man.
He's unlucky there, DeBelle. The ball was off Victoria on that replay. So they did have the throw though. Forward they go again through Cuba over the top. It will just roll out of play. Long throw. Keeper had to get on his bike there. He's okay. Pierce Clark. So there was plenty of sting in the second half. Lots of moments, lots of heated moments, a few cards, but the sting has just momentarily left the game as Queensland look to just bunker down, hold the ball. DeBelle, he very rarely does anything but attack, and it was a pretty crude challenge, really. Queensland, I'm sure, will take a while over this one.
And just as you say the sting had gone out of it, that was a pretty blatant challenge. I think Collins might have picked up a booking for that one as well. So just decided to take the card and allow DeBelle free passage through.
It was a bit like rugby.
Used to seeing that in the Hospital Cup here.
So Lockie Sayers standing over this one. We are past 90 minutes now. Dangerous ball whipped in. It'll be a goal kick.
Corner, according to Mr. Medovic.
Oh, interesting. Players were setting up for a goal kick initially. It looked as though it came off a Queensland head. We will have 3 added minutes, which is interesting because there has been many stoppages in the second half.
Yes, although I feel like It's the friendly stoppage time added on, where maybe it just gets halved. But off that header, Luke Francis was adamant that it should have been a corner, and all the officials agreed with him.
DeBelle again battling for the ball. This looks as though it's gone out for a goal kick.
Not wanting to waste any time.
Oh, Bull Gouch was taken down. He's got himself a free kick, and another yellow card comes out.
It's the only mark you can have against Reece Gray tonight.
He's put in a good shift, but earns himself a yellow. Maybe one last chance for Victoria to pull one back.
6 yellow cards all up tonight, Josh. It's certainly been a bit more heated than the women's match earlier today, which was also won by Queensland in a penalty shootout. Keeper's up.
Yeah, just chipped into the box. I did just notice the bright orange jersey of Pierce Clark, who pushed into the box.
And Regagwe just went for the acrobatic attempt there.
Yeah, there was a bit going on.
Well, I'm glad there's 2 of us. So much to notice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was going to say, I think all 6 of those yellow cards, correct me if I'm wrong, have been in this second half.
I believe you're correct.
So that tells a story. Jordan Thurtell certainly taking his full amount of time here.
Be careful, though. He doesn't want that second yellow.
There would have been another yellow if he waited any longer.
I feel like this is where if I was in the crowd for this match, I'd be screaming, shoot, from the free kick.
Might as well.
That's also one of those times where I'm...
Early whistle. Game over. Queensland 2-0 over Victoria. It was Andy Pengelly with a brace. And a brilliant result for Queensland as they win back the cup this year. Your thoughts, James Coughlin, on the match?
Well, it's Andy Pengelly 2, Victoria 0, and a great reward for Queensland, who feels like they dominated this game from the start. A couple of nervy moments, but overall a well-deserved result for Queensland. A goal in each half for Pengelly, and a good chance to show just what we've got up here in the Sunshine State.
All right, I think we're going to take a break, and we will have, in fact, we're going to keep going because the presentations are about to get underway. These Queensland players, it's been quite a festival of football for them. They only went down by a goal to the Roar last week, but this 2-0 result will certainly give Football Queensland plenty to think about, and it'll give some A-League clubs plenty to think about because there's been some real talent out there tonight.
There certainly has. Ramazani, the big standout for me, and Pengelly 2 goals. I mean, just more of the same for him.
Let's take a look at the highlights, and there were plenty of those. We mentioned those goals from Pengelly. Well, here is Pengelly. And that was his second goal. Interesting to see Pierce Clark, the keeper. He'd only just come on not long before that shot on goal, but Pengelly just found the bottom of the net.
And he hit that one so sweetly as well. Didn't get too high. It was a fizzing attempt, and got a little bit heated, especially with that man there. Sian Cuba has tried to turn playmaker.
Yeah, he was involved in everything, Cuba, in that second half. In particular, this moment where he wandered over and appeared to try and stomp on the legs of Tyson Martin, who was very unhappy with the contact. In the end, he escaped a red card.
And I think that was solely down to the fact that while he attempted to stomp on Martin, he made contact with grass because Martin's knee was too high to stomp over.
Yeah, very lucky in the end. And that man there, Daniel Edwards, was heavily involved throughout the match, but unable to help his Victorian teammates get on the score sheet.
Chance for Queensland here. Ramazani with the lofted ball to the back post. It's the captain, Ludwig, just putting it wide as stolen a step, as this was the best chance for Queensland to make it 3-0.
Yeah, Murray it was. He tried to take it on his left foot. It really looked like it had opened up for him on his right foot. In the end, he won himself a corner, but was hoping to make it 3, not to be.
And in these desperation defending moments, it's Eliopoulos who's doing work to close down the Queensland players as well. He was one of the standouts for Victoria for me.
Well, this was that other Murray chance. We thought he scored. It just caught side netting, which so often can look like the ball's been buried in the back of the net. And Godfrey de Belle, he was involved in a few moments when he came on. This one just hit the crossbar.
As Francis had that first-time strike, he did quite well to direct it goalwards. However, couldn't quite get it into the net as he's done so well for Wolves and last week for Queensland against the Raw.
Two great games tonight. 2 wins for Football Queensland, and the women's game first, that was a penalty shootout. The men's game, 2-0. We are the champions. Ring out. The Queensland fans will enjoy that.
Yes, lovely bit of trolling from the person in the ground announcer box as Queensland can celebrate their clean sweep tonight. So I've got to be honest, after the results in 2023 and now tonight, I have a feeling home ground advantage might play a little bit of a role in how these fixtures unfold.
Certainly, and there is quite a difference in the heat, the weather. When players come up from down south to Queensland, it can be a real challenge. It can also be a challenge on the flip side when players who are used to playing in the 25 to 30 degrees go down and play in the chilly conditions.
Yes, although with the amount of Queenslanders going around down there, I'm sure they would have been familiar with the conditions up here.
Absolutely, no question. As the Queensland players walk around together, final chats with each other, and final wrap-ups here. Football Queensland 2-0 over Football Victoria. A wonderful match. Thank you so much for joining us, and in a moment we will just see them lift that trophy.
Before we get started, we'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we're gathered for today's event and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Ladies and gentlemen, what a superb game. Please put your hands together once again for Queensland and Victoria. There's a number of people that put a lot of effort into making today very, very special. To Brisbane City, to Tony and Rob, and to everyone for hosting today's event here at the beautiful Imperial Court Stadium. Thank you very much. To our match officials, every week we have thousands of games go on across the state, and our match officials turn up and do a fantastic job. We had 4 of our very best here this evening, and they did a fantastic job again, so thank you very much. Please put your hands together for our match officials. As part of the 2024 Battle of the States event, we do present a player of the match. It's going to be presented by Martin Doherty. I'm pleased to announce the player of the match for Queensland, Andrew Pengelly. Two superb goals from Andy and Mark. Please put your hands together once again for our player of the match, Andy Pengelly. Before we get on to the presentation of the Rugby World Cup to Queensland, we'd also like to thank our friends at Football Victoria for their support in putting this event on year on year. Please give a round of applause. I'd like to invite the winning captain for Queensland captain Austin Ludwig to say a few words.
you enjoyed just being out here.
A magical moment, a wonderful moment. Austin Ludwig and his Queensland team have won back the trophy, the Rigby Willis Cup. Final thoughts, James?
Well, deserved win for Queensland. Both trophies are staying here in the Sunshine State for 12 months at least, but a great way to end what has been a phenomenal season for the NPL, both in Queensland and Victoria.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Another brilliant game of football. In the end, it was Queensland 2, Victoria 0. Good night.